It's really hard for us to compete with Fortnite on a 72-inch 4K
Right.
LCD TV, and then we're gonna have them go from that onto the baseball field and stand out there, and then gonna yell at him for not focusing. This kid's 8 years old. He's been given iPads since he was 2. We
Be
gotta make the
quiet.
game more engaging for them and more fun.
Yeah.
Kids that are gonna become best at baseball are the ones that are out there playing in the streets, playing ball out until dark. I mean, I just remember playing roller hockey until dark, until my parents would yell at me to come inside, and that was right in Menlo Park. You drive around Menlo Park, my town, nowadays, you cannot find kids out on the field.
Yep.
You got all these super nice facilities in some of these affluent communities, and the days of sneaking onto fields and playing home run derby until you can't play anymore, like, they're not as good as making their own fun, because these games, they've made our own fun for us. So we see in affluent communities, oftentimes they're getting smoked at these tournaments from these sort of corn-fed kids in different areas that are just outside playing on the streets all the time. That's one of the reasons why Dominicans in a lot of these third world countries, they're bringing up so many hard throwers, because they're out there throwing rocks for baseballs all day
Bricks.
long. It's different than what we're used to. I don't think all kids that are good at baseball are not playing video games. I also think that video games, they can make you worse at sports. Staring at something like this all the time on a phone, is that going to hurt your peripheral vision? Is it going to give you a sunken chest and a barrel back? Is it going to give you tech neck? I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on right now that technology is not just impacting our brains, but actually our physical abilities as well. Obesity, staying up late, sleep. I mean, all this stuff is impacted by this growing rate of technology usage in all of our young kids. And if you can teach your kids at a really young age to self-regulate, then you have less of a chance of them going off into high school, into college, to be essentially somewhat addicted to their devices and technology. The more that we are putting ideas, pictures, images, social media into their head, filling all of their downtime with that, the less of the time they have for boredom, for creative thought, for innovation, for deep thinking, for just looking out the window while we're driving. And we know that as people get older, they're going to spend more and more time alone. To be with yourself and sit with yourself and be mindful and aware of what's going on for you, that's important. And I think that can be best captured and done by helping our kids develop self-regulation tactics around technology. It's a practice, right? And it's hard. And I've gone through periods where I'm kind of ultra addicted to my phone and I try to reset myself. But there is a great researcher by the name of Gloria Mark from UC Irvine, and she did a study on office workers. And this is something that I think can apply directly to youth baseball players or really anybody. And what she found was that workers, the more that they were interrupted by notifications and email, the more that they began to self-interrupt with other things as well. If we as baseball players or young softball players, we want them to be in the dugout, we want them to focus on the pitcher, or we want to be in the box and we just want to be reducing all fear, just be focused in the moment. If we just came back from a full day of getting notifications and getting emails and being on our phones and being hyper distracted, it reduces our ability to be in the moment with what we're doing. That is a really great application for people who are trying to figure out, I don't really care, like I don't get notifications. No, the more that you're distracted, the more of a busy mind you have, the more external distractions, the more internal distractions you will create for yourself. The best things that we can do as family folks here, especially with families with kids, because it's so hard, we all need that space to be offline and unplugged a little bit. It's so healthy for us, is to create spaces in our homes or within our families. It is like sacred space to be off technology. And some of the great spaces to do that are like the kitchen or the dinner table. No matter what, devices are away. Another great place would be like the car. We're on our way back from school, baseball game or softball game. That is a great time to connect, channeling like our inner Shabbat, you know, and just, hey, we're just offline. Maybe not even TV, as hard as that might be. We're just gonna play board games. We're gonna talk. We're gonna connect. For coaches out there, for me, it was, I didn't allow my kids to bring their devices never to the field, but also in between games. This is where friendships are made. This is where kids learn about each other and they make conversation in between games. Like, no, your phones stay in the car. Apple Watches too. And this is where we're truly going to learn about about each other, build relationships, and make meaningful memories with kids that we love and we'll go fight for. And I think that teams that are better connected, and you create those connections by being offline, you'll play better. There's a direct correlation to performance, both individually and collectively as a team.